Well, I'll see what you put.
Like you have to like give 2 minutes because it might actually, you know, sometimes it sorts itself. But it makes you laugh. She's got what way is.
For goodness sake, what's the... There we go. 500211 or 4. Okay, the screen is 0021 0021. Okay.
Is he even here?
Yeah.
Okay, good morning here from Prague in the Czech Republic. It is about 10 to 9 in the morning, local time here, at the host hotel at the Hilton Old Town, here in the heart of the city. It is that time of the week again, boys and girls. It is early weigh-in day for UFC on ESPN Plus 3, better known as ESPN Prague. We're probably about 9 minutes away from the first fighter being wheeled out onto the stage and onto the scale. Fight week's gone not too bad so far. Check out all the interviews we managed to catch. All 10 of the fighters that they put up for Media Day yesterday. All the videos are up on MMA Junkie YouTube. There are features up on the MMA Junkie website. We had the stare down videos up there. And there's a fun video with Chris Weidman taking over my interview with Jan Vellante. That went quite well. Probably better than if I was doing it myself, to be honest. So had a bit of fun with them. And we're now waiting for the arguably the most important part of the week now, where this is where the guys earn at least their show money by getting up on the scale, hitting their mark and making their fights official. As I say, it's about 8 minutes now to 9. Weigh-in start at 9. As you all know, I'm sure, if you're up watching this, especially over in the States, then you're definitely one of the hardcores. So thanks for joining us. And yeah, we've got about 8 minutes to go, and we'll hopefully be off and running very soon. Let's take a little run down the fight card for you, just to give you a few names to look out for as we get ready for the weigh-ins. Main event, of course, Jan Blachowicz taking on Thiago Santos. Take Anthony Smith out of the equation because he's fighting John Jones next weekend. These are the two highest ranked guys at 205 who haven't yet fought for a world championship. So the winner of this is going to be right up there in the discussion. And it's a battle between power striker and a granite-chinned European fighter. So that should be an interesting matchup. The co-main event, 7-foot-tall skyscraper Stefan Struve looking to end a 3-fight losing streak when he takes on Brazil's Marcos Rogério de Lima, who is now looking to settle into the UFC heavyweight division after having a few problems on the scale at light heavy. He beat Adam Vicerek at heavyweight last time out, and now we're back seeing him in heavyweight once again. Jan Vellante, we talked about him earlier. He's taken on Mikhail Alexichuk. Alexichuk has only had one fight in the UFC, and that got scrapped from the record due to testing positive for clomiphene. He's coming back off an anti-doping suspension. Vellante doesn't seem too bothered about that, however. He's going to be looking to end a run of 4 consecutive split decisions. He's had 2 wins and 2 losses in that run. He wants to get himself a decisive result, and as he told us yesterday, he just wants to knock the guy out and then go and drink some beer in Prague. And I think we can all appreciate that sentiment. Liz Carmouche is going to be celebrating 6 years from the day that she made UFC history by being the first female fighter to ever step into the octagon. She's going to take on Lucy Pudilova at flyweight, John Dodson versus Peter Yan at bantamweight, and Magomed Ankalaev taking on Klidson Abreu at light heavyweight. Will kick off that card. As I'm sure you've worked out by now, this is not the voice of Mr. MMA Junkie himself, John Morgan. This is Simon Head. John is actually back in Vegas holding things down for us over there. So everything you're seeing up on the MMA Junkie website as of this morning, the man himself is powering all that stuff. So fear not, he is still involved with this fight week coverage. It's just they decided to send us European types over because it was a little bit easier to get us here. So myself and Abby Saban, who's been running the camera, have been holding things down here in Prague. John's back at home coordinating everything, and touch wood, it's gone okay so far. Word of warning, we're running off the hotel Wi-Fi, which is always iffy at the best of times. So cross your fingers that the stream stays with us throughout. If it goes, don't shoot the messenger. It's the dodgy Wi-Fi that we're running off.
No, not at all, bro. Yeah.
About 4 minutes to go until the fighters are due on the stage, on the scale.
No, you're good, man.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah.
How's that? Much better?
Yeah, they're just alright, yeah. They just shuffle back just a little bit. You just shuffle back just a wee bit. And you mate.
Other fights to look out for on the card. If you want a couple of prelim fights to keep an eye out on, Daniel Tamer versus Chris Fishgold at featherweight could be a banger. You're right. On top of that, we've got Damir Hadzovic versus Polo Reyes. That will be an absolute barn burner. So make sure you look out for that one. I'll stay sitting back when they're on the scale. You're right.
Mark.
Yeah. Mr. Mark Ratner, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we'll wait till this gentleman steps aside.
Sporting the winter collection.
The winter collection. Perfect, Mark. Looks good, man. Yeah. But we're here, we're soaking it all in. You know, right? Yeah. We're not in Melbourne anymore, Toto.
If all goes well, we'll have 13 fights. I hesitate to say this because I'm probably going to put the jinx on someone, but we're supposed to have 13 fights on the card this weekend. Cross your fingers that everyone makes it to the scale, makes it in one piece, and makes it on weight. My personal concern here is that we've got a heavyweight fight on the card, which normally means they roll out of bed whenever they feel like it. They don't have to get up first thing and come in bang on 9 o'clock and weigh in. So we may be here a little while. Fingers crossed though. Maybe someone set Stefan Struve's alarm nice and early this morning, and he'll be the first man up on the scale. Who knows?
They speak in English in Prague?
She doesn't put that together, you know? Like it's the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard. And yet, I've said it so many times. I don't even know how you know I can leave it. Silly.
Well, by my watch, it's now 9 o'clock. So it should just be a mere matter of seconds before we see our first fighters come out and join us this morning for these official early morning weigh-ins here in Prague. Dan Hardy in the building today. Looks like he's going to be our master of ceremonies for the weigh-ins this morning. He's over there nursing a cup of coffee, which I've got to be honest, I wish I'd grabbed before we got here. And a bout order, so fingers crossed, we could have our first fighter up any second now.
According to the licensee.
We're going to start in about 30 seconds here.
Looks like we might be good to go.
Morning, everybody. Welcome to the weigh-ins. All right, we're going to start with the first fight on the scales in the welterweight division. White crown.
Straight ahead.
Yes, sir. Stand time. Show time.
I'm gonna do. I'll try to avoid that. Actually, you know what? It might be a more interesting shot if I do come in, and then we could do kind of a flat standing thing, right? Never mind. I'll avoid it.
That's the way we boot everyone out of the way of our
Next to the
shot.
welterweight division, Carlo Pedasoli.
Good game. Picture. 5 seconds. Straight ahead. Thank you. If you could prep them back there, then I'll just have a look for my hand.
Also 171.
Here. Carlo, back up. Right here into this camera, please. 5. Thank you, Carlo.
It looks like we have our first sighting of the dreaded towel. This worries me.
Next for the welterweight division, Ismail Nadir.
Straight ahead. Thank you, Israel.
It's possible that this might just be check efficiency. We've got a pair of hotel staffers to the side who are just holding the towel, so
Moving on to the light
we may be okay.
Thiago Maheta Santos.
Bora, Marreta!
Straight ahead.
Boa, Marreta!
Thank you, Thiago.
Back to the welterweight division, Michel Prazeres.
É o trator! É o trator!
Michelle, straight ahead.
Boa! Brasil!
Thank you, Michelle.
Next to the women's flyweight division, Liz Carmouche.
Let's go, champ! Whoop, whoop!
125.
Straight ahead.
Handle it.
Straight. Liz, right here, please. Fine. Thanks, Liz.
Next fighter, Gillian Robertson.
You 125.
Straight ahead, Jillian. Thank you, Jillian.
Next up in the featherweight division, Chris Fishgold.
Straight ahead, Chris. Right here.
Come on, boy.
Thanks, Chris.
Next fight to the scale in the light heavyweight division, Jan Blahovic.
Straight ahead, Jan. Thank you, Jan.
Meet their introduction for the year, Jan Blahovic.
You were good. 206.
Straight ahead, Jan.
Yeah.
4. You're good. Thanks, Jan.
Next up in the heavyweight division, Stefan Skyscraper Struve.
Straight ahead, Stefan. Right here. Thank you, Stefan.
Just saw in the comments someone asking what Jan's weight was. Jan was bang on championship weight, 205.
Next up in the bantamweight division, John Dodson.
Get you a glider.
Dude, I am silk right now.
36, 136.
Straight ahead, John. 5.
You know it?
I know.
Am I low enough out of the way?
Oh yeah, okay.
No, you're too tall already. Next up in the lightweight division, Rustam Habilov.
56, 156.
Straight ahead, Rustam. Thank you, Rustam.
Next to the light heavyweight division, Michelle Oleksiejczuk.
Straight ahead, Michelle. Thank you, Michelle.
Next up in the heavyweight division, Marcus Rogerio de Lima.
$255.
Straight ahead, Marcos. Right here. 5. Thank you, Marcos.
Next up in the lightweight division, Polo Reyes.
$155.
Straight ahead, Polo. Right here. 5, 4. Thank you, Polo.
Moving on to the light heavyweight division, Magomed Ankalaev.
Straight ahead, Magomed. Thank you, Magomed.
Next up in the bantamweight division, Peter Yang.
Рука вперед. 36, 136.
Straight ahead, Peter. 5. Thank you, Peter.
Let's go, Jeff.
Next to the lightweight division, Joel Alvarez.
Do you want, just want them to, what's the best way? Do you want to just airdrop them to you? Yeah. When we get a break, I'll. What do you need?
56, 156.
5. Get them all.
I know. 3 seconds is good enough.
Next up in the women's flyweight division, Veronica Macedo.
You can't be shot. You have to be a little more cold. Talk.
Oh yeah.
I'm criticizing my own performance.
206. I mean, excuse me, 126.
Straight ahead, Veronica, right here. 5. Thank you, Veronica. That's 206 on the card.
Next to the lightweight division, the man is Michael up.
So good.
Shows a distant fighter. 55.
Straight ahead, right here.
55.
Woo!
It's just taking years off Mark Ratner's life.
All right, that's everyone for now. I'll give you a for the next one.
So entertaining. 206 for Veronica. Yeah.
So what did Veronica weigh in? 206? 206. And she's dense. That's the whole thing. Molecules are super dense. Yeah.
Okay, we're on a bit of a break. Not a bad run. We've got 5 fighters left. No one has missed weight yet. The 5 fighters we're waiting for are Daniel Tamer, Damir Hadzovic, Carlos Diego Ferreira, Klidson Ebru, and the local favourite, Lucie Pudilova. So we're 21 minutes in, 21 fighters weighed in, 5 left. And happily, the heavyweights are already in the bag. They're the ones, as a journalist, you always worry about, because they're the ones that are going to extend the day. Because they don't need to turn up first thing in the morning to weigh in. They can have a lie-in, have a bit of breakfast, read the newspaper, skim through social media, call the family, and then just rock up 20 minutes before the end of the weigh-in, stand on the scale, and make weight with ease. But they're done, so we're all good. We have, Daniel Tamer at 45, Damir Hadzovic at 55, Carlos Diego Ferreira
Let me see.
at
Let me just make
55,
sure everybody.
and
I was still
Lucie
downloading stuff
Pudilova
on the camera.
at
I think we got
125.
Alvarez was the last one. Let me see.
Just seeing a comment, Santos and Blachowicz have both weighed in, both made weight, no problem at all. Thiago made weight with well, 2 pounds to spare for the non-championship weight limit, came in at 204. Big Jan Blachowicz from Poland, bang on championship weight, 205. Yes. If you're looking for a little bit of extra sort of background, behind the scenes info from here in Prague, check out the man himself, John Morgan, on the MMA Roadshow. We recorded last night. I did a little piece with him, give him a little bit of flavour of what things have been like during fight week so far. You can get that, I think, via the MMA Junkie website. It's definitely on the MMARoadshow.com, iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts, it'll be there. Okay, we may be back on again. Mr. Rapp. We are back on again. Here we go.
Got him? Okay. Let's do the behind the scenes of Mark Ratner.
A new video feature.
Do the real story.
They don't have to do the shadow, only
Read.
So he's about to lead a Pilates class or something.
So good.
Just lounging.
Mr. TV.
Just lounging.
Next fight to the scale. Lucy, put it over.
Glad none of them can operate on me anytime soon.
$126.
Can I? Lucy, hop back on the scale, please. Hop on the scale for 5 seconds, please. Stand straight ahead. Straight ahead here. And 5, 4. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you.
Next fight for the lightweight division, Diego Ferreira.
It's not in the job description, was it?
Yeah.
Pound over.
Yeah, I still want him on the scale. No, back on the scale, please. Yeah, thank you. Straight ahead here. 5. Thank you.
Okay, Diego Ferreira came in a pound over at 157, and normally he would get an extra hour to lose that additional pound, but the suggestion from Dan Hardy was that that was his shot, and that he may just stick with 157, and that he can't lose that extra pound, so he will forfeit an amount, I would guess 20% of his purse, to his opponent. His opponent being Rustam Habilov. Three more to go. Daniel Tamer, Damir Hadzovic, Klidson Ebru.
Randy, how'd Joe do in Montreal? How'd Joe do in Montreal?
Yeah.
It was a last minute thing.
This fight on Tuesday. I gave him 5 hours.
Nice, nice.
Sounds like we've got it confirmed that Diego Ferreira will not be coming back to the scale. He's going to stick with 157. He'll probably get... Oh, here we go. 3 more to go. Here comes at least one of them.
Every time. Say we hit the reset button. Come back.
Next up in the light heavyweight division, Clinton Brown.
Wow, más guerrero.
Straight ahead, Clifton. 5, 4, 3. Thank you, Clifton.
He's not going to try anymore. There'll be a fine there. They're going to wait for the matchmaker and they'll figure it out. Historically, it'd be 20 minutes to the opponent.
Waiting on 2 fighters. Is that what you've got?
Tamer and Hadzovic.
Taymor and Hadzovic.
Yeah.
I'll go check.
So that's two two people that
Every
miss weight.
side, man. We're gonna do a 3D model at the end of it. Yeah.
These guys are hoping to get me on my knee.
So Clidson Abreu came in at 209, needed to be 206, so he missed by a reasonable amount, 3 pounds. Normally he'd have an hour to try and lose the additional poundage, but in the same instance as we had with Diego Ferreira, they've decided that's it for him. That's as much as he's able to lose, or as much as he's prepared to lose. So he'll accept a deduction from his purse. Typically that's around 20%. That will go to his opponent this weekend, Magomed Ankalaev. That fight will kick off the main card on ESPN Plus this weekend. Just 2 more fighters left. Sweden's Daniel Tamer and Bosnia representative Demir Hadzovic. Hadzovic versus Polo Reyes, by the way. I think that's a sleeper for fight of the night. It's the 4th fight on the card based on the listing I've got here. We're going to get an official fight bout order while we're here. But do look out for that one. Polo Reyes doesn't know how to walk backwards in a fight. Nor does Demir Hadzovic. They both love to stand and bang. I think maybe not the biggest names on the fight card, but that might just bring the most action-packed contest of the night. Quick time check while we're here. 37 minutes in. And we've only got 2 fighters left. I don't think we're going to break the record. I think we might have missed the mark for that. That was like, I think it was like 28 minutes or something insane. I'm sure John will be able to share that on the chat. But we're ripping through this at a fair pace, and we've only got 2 more to go. So fingers crossed, we could be done and dusted in a not too distant future, and all you guys can go to bed back there in the States. While I'm here, by the way, I want to give a shout out to my partner in crime over here, Abby Saban, who pulls some quite ridiculous hours shooting and editing the videos that you enjoy on social media and on the MMA Junkie website. He might not be a face that you know in front of the camera, but believe me, especially in these European shows, he's an absolute powerhouse behind the camera. So if you want to give him a bit of love on Twitter, he's at Kamikaze, KAMMAKAZE. He's a good dude. And he'll have the highlights of these weigh-ins live on the MMA Junkie website a little bit later on today.
Ready.
Just 2 to go. It sounds like at least one of them is going to be joining us on the scale any minute now.
Next up in the lightweight division, Damir Hadzovic.
Straight ahead, Damir, right here. Thank you, Damir.
With authority. It's a little stare down, dude. He did like a left to right. Like he just scanned the room.
I now know who you all are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not prepared for this.
He's quite intense, doing it.
Yeah, I am. Randy, I think Australian is taking the same 15 years of my life in Prague. It's like ruined my taste for it everywhere else. I've tried all the bean coffee here and it just doesn't taste as good as alcohol. Dude, there's a lot. It's like literally like all of them.
Okay, we've got one more fighter left away, and that is Daniel Tamer, who needs to turn up and hit 146 or lower for his fight with Chris Fishgold. Let's have a quick rundown of the weights as they appeared on the scale earlier today. So Dwight Grant, 171. Carlo Pedasoli, 171. Ismail Nardiev, 170. Thiago Santos, 204. Michel Prazeres, 170. Liz Carmouche, 125. Gillian Robertson, 125. Chris Fishgold, 145. Jan Blachowicz, 205. Jan Vellante, 206. Stefan Struve, 263. John Dodson, 136. Rustam Habilov, 156. Mikhail Alexijuk, 204. Marcos Rogerio de Lima, 255. Paulo Reyes, 155. Magomed Ankalaev, 204. Pidian, 136. Yoel Alvarez, 156. Veronica Macedo, 126. Damir Ismagulov, 155. Lucy Pudilova with the Wayne Vale, made weight at 126. Then we had two fighters miss weight. Carlos Diego Ferreira miss weight at 157. And then light heavyweight Klidson Abreu hit 209. Both of those guys are not going to return to the scale. They would have been given an hour extra to lose the additional weight. They've both decided to accept their weight miss, and they will both be suffering deductions from their purse that will go to their opponents. Typically it's 20%. That will be negotiated backstage between the fight camps and the matchmakers. And we've just seen Damir Hadzovic tip the scale bang on weight for the lightweight division at 155. So we're just waiting on Daniel Tamer. Sounds like they're checking Daniel Tamer's weight backstage at the moment, so fingers crossed he's close. A few other things to look out for on fight night. Magomed Ankalaev, who his fight purse is going to be boosted by the fact his opponent has missed weight. He's coming into this with a point to prove. If you remember, he absolutely dominated Scotland's Paul Craig when they met. Was winning the fight almost every second of every round, and then dramatically tapped out with 1 second remaining. He's a very, very strong fighter. The fact he lost that fight sort of overshadows how well he's done in his career so far leading into the UFC. He's 11-1. His lone defeat was that triangle choke submission where he tapped in the last second, and he tapped pretty quick to that choke as well. If he could have held on for 1 more second, he'd still be undefeated right now. He bounced back with a win against Marcin Prashnio in Moscow with a first round head kick knockout. So expect big things from him this weekend. I think, again, not one of the big names, but he's still looking to establish himself and move up that 205-pound ladder. And after that loss to Paul Craig, he's still looking to really establish himself, prove himself in that UFC light heavyweight division, which, as we all know, is absolutely wide open right now. The winner of the main event, it's not out of the question that the winner of the main event could find themselves in a title elimination fight next, or maybe even in a title fight next, who knows. They're the highest ranked guys in a division who haven't been booked in a title fight in the UFC 205-pound division. What? Ask if he's got a bout list. Like Don's got one there. I'll take that off him once he's finished. I'll ask if I can have that off him if there isn't one. But just we've got an official order. Yeah. Oh, have you?
I do as I'm told, Simon.
Sorry?
I do as I'm told. Abby says and I do.
Same here. Same here. Vic, I don't have it here.
Huh?
I don't have it.
I sent it to John. He asked me to send it to John.
Ah, gotcha. All right, cool. All right.
Do you want me to send it to you?
No, it cuts out the middleman. It's fine.
Okay.
No, no.
You already replied.
Talk to the organ grinder, not the monkey. Ivan Ramey, you said you came here to watch dehydrated men in their underwear. You're a bit late, my friend. There's only one left. That is Daniel Tamer, who is our lone remaining fighter to weigh in. You'll be able to catch the highlights on the MMAJunkie.com website and the MMA Junkie YouTube page a little later today, so fear not.
Yeah, I've seen it. Bruce.
So excited every time I see her. Of my life. It's just like
Dan, you just come out of hiding, bro? Where have you been, man? You got the event off shirt on? Here, take a seat, dude. There's a seat up there. Take homeboy seat. What's happening? Good.
I am so freaking hot.
It's fucking balls everywhere. Like, anywhere indoors, it's like they got fucking the radiators for that.
Sweating. A rated minibar, full of water.
Just open the doors, let the refrigerator pump the air out. Yeah, I say wait. Do you have a window? Can you just crack the window?
No idea. I should have probably.
No, that's alright. Sometimes we don't have windows that open. I don't know how all the rooms are.
Because in Vegas, I think it's broken.
They lock you in there, dude. You want to smell the air so you can gamble your life away.
All good. Been touring around?
Yeah, a lot.
Beautiful. I started looking at it last night.
It's a beautiful city. Yeah, it's gonna clear up tomorrow and Sunday. So.
Yeah, it was big confused.
No, it'll be good, man. Earlier in the week, earlier on Monday, so we had like Tuesday to kind of explore. So it was like a clear day.
Did you do Melbourne all the way home and then came back out?
Yeah.
I'm missing this snow.
Wow. We're like, well, what the fuck, dude? Like, once.
I haven't seen
No.
It's a one.
It snowed like that. I mean, it snows once in a while. It doesn't stick like this. Like, this is like a once every 15 year kind of a thing. So, yeah, I'm kind of bummed they're missing it. But at least people are documenting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. In Vegas, it's weird. They shut the airport down. Because they don't have fucking snow blowers and shit. So, like, as soon as everything's surrounded, it should be fine by now. I think it's going to stop today.
So, like, look at the weather outside. -2, -3 on the way. I guess my pool party plans are
Scratch. So, They have no cool parties. Yeah, you don't want to be there. The whole dude is too cold. Get your jacuzzi tub and you invite some ladies over.
Yes.
Yeah. Or whoever you want. No, whoever you want. You invite this chap.
How are you?
How do thee today?
You're on live social media. Audio recording.
This is not how he normally talks to me.
Yeah.
This is not how I'm normally greeted.
Still got an hour, isn't it?
Yeah. So what's your week looking like for today and tomorrow?
Right, now I've got more coming in this evening. I've got Monster coming out.
It sounds familiar, or he sounds familiar.
UFC is going to He's now in Geneva. He's then coming down tomorrow. These guys.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Our final fighter, Mr. Daniel Tamer,
Mr. Tamer.
is about to grace us with his presence and
Incoming.
step on the scale. Here we go.
He's going to be coming this way, too.
I'm coming right over there.
He's coming right here. Good move, dude.
46.
Straight ahead, Daniel. Thank you, Daniel.
You're all cleared in.
All right, thank you very much, everybody. Let's get the ceremony away.
What, mate? Here we go.
All right. What time you headed over to the arena,
So there we go. That is
maybe one?
the UFC Prague weigh-ins, all done and dusted. Everyone
Take these drives.
has made it through to fight night. I don't think we're going to have any casualties. So everyone looked pretty healthy up there. 2 people missed weight. Diego Ferreira, 157, missed by a pound. Clidson Abreu, 209, missed by 3 pounds. They're both going to accept a reduction in their purse. We will endeavour to find out how much those reductions are. I would anticipate 20%, unless the opposing fight camp wants to negotiate for a larger amount, which, why not? But it looks as if the fight card is intact. 13 bouts scheduled for tomorrow night our time. I guess it'll be afternoon time for those of you stateside. Don't sleep on the card. I know it's not packed with A-listers, but there are some decent matchups on this card. And sometimes the big names don't always deliver the big action. So let's hope for some exciting stuff on Saturday night. Coverage all night long, of course, as you would expect, on MMAJunkie.com. John Morgan running the show back in Vegas. Myself and Abby Saban will be backstage at the O2 Arena, getting a reaction from the fighters after the contest. Should be a fun one. First ever event here in Prague. The media are up for it. Media day was packed yesterday. I believe the venue sold out pretty quickly, and we could be in for a pretty good atmosphere on fight night tomorrow night. That's pretty much all we have for you here at the Hilton Old Town in the heart of Prague. That's the weigh-ins, all done and dusted. We'll speak to you on fight night.